How well do you know yourself? Knowing yourself is not only about knowing your capabilities, knowing what you are able to do, knowing your strength. It is also about knowing what you're not able to do, knowing your weaknesses. Many people don't want to look at their own weaknesses because it is not a nice feeling to be talking about the things that you are weak about. It is not a nice feeling for you to be looking at your own brokenness. We want to be positive-minded, which is okay. We want to look at our positive side and capitalize on that and try to make use of that to develop ourselves, which is okay. But you have to be also aware of this other reality of your weakness. That there are certain things in life that you cannot do, that you're not able to do. Or maybe there are just certain things where you're not strong enough to withstand the pressure. You get into that environment and you're not just strong enough for you to withstand that pressure. You walk into a bar. You know that beer is your weakest point, but you take yourself into a bar. So if you know yourself, if you know that beer is my weakest point, you're not going to drive yourself into an environment where you'll be tempted to start drinking. And especially if you even go there with money in your pockets. Certainly you're going to grab one or two. Okay? Now, if you go ahead and put yourself into that environment, then probably you don't really know yourself that much. And this is the point that Jesus is trying to make today. That if there is an area in your life where you are weak, say, okay, in this area, I'm very weak. First of all, acknowledge that fact. Acknowledge that you are weak in that area and other people are stronger. But then, if that weak area or weak point, weak element in your life leads you into sin, Jesus says, cut it off or pluck it out. Jesus talks about the parts of the body. But there's something, there's a deeper meaning behind what Jesus is trying to communicate. When he says cut off your leg, he's not telling you to literally cut off your leg if your legs take you into that environment of sin. Jesus is talking about something more than just cutting off your leg or plucking out your eye. Jesus is talking about those areas in your life where you are weak. That you don't make yourself vulnerable by putting yourself in an environment where you know that you'll not be able to withstand the pressure. Then it just means you're not wise. You're not wise at all. Jesus says, cut off that leg, pluck out that eye. It is better to go into heaven with one eye than to go into hell with both eyes. Each one of us knows what makes them sin, in short. Each one of us knows in what area they are most weak. And just says, begin to work on that area. Begin to remove anything that drives you into sin. Begin to do something about that. Don't sweep it under the carpet. No, fika shima naturally. No. Begin to work on it yourself. And that is why he's saying, pluck out that eye. Cut off that hand. Begin to do something. He's calling us to action about the areas in our lives where we are most weak. It is better to go into heaven with one eye than to go into hell with both eyes. How well do you know yourself? How well do I know myself? It's a very important question for us to reflect on today. Amen.